in the lead up to this One Planet summit in Paris, the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, has said that he's received invitations to speak there or meet there with President Macron and Antonio Guterres. That's what he says. So what I wanted to know is, if that's true, what I've asked you last week and Stéphane about for example, the case of Patrice Nganang, who's now it's become a pretty well-covered case with human rights groups saying, how could this writer and professor who was reporting on the Anglophone areas be detained by the government? What would be, can you confirm that Antonio Guterres has asked to meet with Paul Biya? And if so, would this issue or the Anglophone issue generally be on the agenda?
Well, as is normally the case when the Secretary General travels, if he holds meetings with other world leaders, we'll try to get the readouts of them. Stéphane's there with the Secretary General, and we'll be in touch with them to make sure that any of these meetings happen, and we'll try to provide details.
As the UN, on that issue that I asked you about last week, it was said, one media report that came out based on your answer said that the UN said it was concerned, but neither confirmed that it was aware of or doing anything about the case. So I wanted to ask you, I assume you're aware of it, but has the UN, I know Mr. Fall is in the building today, has anyone in the UN system reached out to the government to ask about the status of this professor who visited to look into the Anglophone issue?
I'm checking with our colleagues in political affairs about what response we have. Once we have something to say, I'll let you know.
Can I ask one more? I guess it's a procedural one, but it was said, you said it last week, that the Secretary General will not this year have an end-of-the-year press conference. And I know you said it would be early next year, but it seems like it's been kind of a tradition. Is there a reason that this can't take place? Because I saw that he did on Friday interviews with a national contingent of media. He did Fareed Zakaria. So is it a lack of time, or what's the basis of not holding the press conference?
No, it's simply the case that the Secretary General likes to have briefings for the press when he has something to say. In this case, he wants to do something at the start of the year so he can talk about what his plans are for 2018. And so that's what we're aiming for something around mid-January.